Alright, for this video supplement, let's have an example on illustrating the concept of population and sampling. Let's say that we want to conduct a study on how working age adults in Metro Manila make use of internet facilities such as internet cafes and community e-centers in order to get information related to their jobs. For this research, we need to determine the population we will study and how to derive a sample population from it. So, the major question that motivates population sampling in the first place is, who do you want to generalize to? Or, to whom do you want to generalize? So, in this case, the really big group that we wish to generalize to is often called the true population, or sometimes it's called the theoretical population of our study. This is the group that we would want to sample from because this is the group that we are interested in generalizing to. In this case, the entire population of working age adults in Metro Manila who use public internet facilities. So let's imagine that we wish to generalize the urban working age adults in Metro Manila. If this is our true population of interest, you can imagine that we will have a very hard time developing a reasonable sampling plan. We are not going to find an accurate listing of this population, and even if we did, we will almost certainly not be able to mount a study of this size for the entire population that we are looking at in a city of more than 10 million. So, we can make a distinction between the population that we would like to generalize to and the population that is actually going to be accessible for us. So, what population is actually the one that we can get access to? So, this is what we call our study population. So the study population is the population that we can get access to or is accessible. So in this example, let's say that the accessible population or the study population might be working age adults in Pasig City. Right? So we're narrowing it down. So once we've identified both the true population and the study populations, we have one more thing before we can actually draw a sample. Okay, we need to ask our question now, how can we access them? So let's say that we need to get a list of the members of the accessible population. So the listing of the accessible population from which we will draw our sample is called our sampling frame. For example, we can do a phone survey and select names from the telephone book of these working age adults. And so this telephone book now is our sampling frame. However, this wouldn't be a really great way to sample because for practical purposes, significant sub-portions of the population either don't have a phone or maybe some of them have moved in or out of the area since the phone book was printed. So in this case, the sampling frame is not a list per se, but is rather a procedure that we need to follow as the actual basis for sampling. Finally, we will need to actually draw our sample or who is actually going to be in our study. So in doing a sample or sampling, we will use one of many sampling procedures. So, the sample is the group of people who we are going to select to be in our study. So, notice that I did not say that the sample was the group of people who are actually in our study. We may not be able to contact or recruit all of the people that we want to sample, or some could drop out over the course of the study. So, the group that actually completes our study would be a subsample of the sample. It will not include non-respondents or dropouts. So, To further illustrate the concept of population and sampling, so we'll have the two next videos. In the first one, I'll be showing you as a way to compute sample size, and then there's this very interesting video that shows you the different sampling methods. Have fun!